Hi, this is Scott Devine at scottsbasslessons.com. Check out my website for other tutorials and stuff like that you might be quite into. Today I'm going to be talking about the 1-6-2-5 chord progression that you'll hear at the end of, predominantly all jazz tunes, or standard type jazz tunes anyway. And we're going to be talking about it in the key of C. It's a 1-6-2-5 turnaround. You might have heard it in that description as well. Right, so the chords are C major, A minor, D minor, G7. This sound. And it's used all the way through like standard jazz tunes as well. Tunes like Cheek to Cheek, Ladies of Tramp's got a few of them in there as well, or altered versions of it anyway. So it's really, really useful to get this in your playing and find out and investigate the different alternate scales and substitutions you can play over the actual turnaround. So obviously it's in the key of C, A minor, D minor, G7. So this means the simplest route to soloing through it or around it, whichever way you want to look at it, is simply using the C major scale. You don't have to make the changes, just use the C major scale. This will give you a good feel for the chords, you'll hear the sound of it. What I'll do, I'll just give you a quick demonstration now, just to show you what it'll sound like, just playing the C major scale. Sorry about the crew playing. It's 9:30 in the morning, so I haven't warmed up yet. So there you can see I'm just using the C major scale. Everything sounds fine and dandy. The problem is that you don't get the sound within your improvisation when you're playing from C major like that. You sometimes don't get the sound of you actually making the changes. I'm sure a lot of you out there will have heard of, you've got to make the changes, which means playing around the chords and using the chords within your improvisation. To do this, you've got to practice your arpeggios, continuous arpeggio exercises that I've talked about in other tutorials, and I will have a tutorial up ASAP covering how to actually practice arpeggios and get them visualized over the entire neck of the bass, and the exercises I use to be able to do that. So just using arpeggios now, I'm going to play around the turnaround. So we've got C major arpeggio, A minor arpeggio, D minor arpeggio, G7 arpeggio. But remember, we've got these arpeggios over the entire neck. C major arpeggio, A minor arpeggio, D minor arpeggio, G7 arpeggio. Yeah, that'll be on another video, showing you how to practice your arpeggios. Okay, so I'm just going to give another example of just playing around arpeggios on the same C major 1-6-2-5 turnaround, so you can hear what it sounds like. major arpeggio. A minor, D minor, G7, C major, A minor, D minor, G7. I'll carry on. Oh, there you can see that was me just. I know that wasn't so tuneful. I was just trying to give an example of how you can play around the arpeggios to give the sound of the chord. Yeah. It's really helpful as well when you're doing that to actually just, I know I was jumping around the neck a bit, just play it in position. So C major, A minor, D minor, G7. Here, C major, A minor, D minor, G7. Here, C major, A minor, D minor, G7, and up the neck. You know, you can practice that in your own time. So once you can play through the arpeggios, you know, you've got your C major as well that you can play. So you can mix the two up. You can, you know, you can play a bit of C major, some patterns. Down the arpeggios, resolve into C major, all that kind of thing. After you've done that, what you want to look at is actually altering the chords within the 1-6-2-5. And this is what a lot of people do anyway, and you'll have heard this. The first chord that you should alter, or look at altering, is the 6th chord. So you've got a 1-6-2-5, 1, 6, A minor, 2, D minor, 5, G7. Let's alter it. 1, C major, here comes the alter chord, 6, we make it into an A dominant flat 9. Yeah? Then D minor, G7. So we've only changed one chord. We've got C major now, A7. So now the 6th chord is acting as a 5 chord going to D minor. C major, A7, flat 9, D minor 7, G7. So the scale, because the A7, the new 6th chord, we've made it into a dominant chord, so it's this sound. There's only very little difference between the two. Because we've made that into 6th chord, now we can start altering that chord and using altered scales over that chord. The scale that you want to look at for doing that is the A altered scale, which is B flat melodic minor. Oh, my computer's just gone off. So you want to be looking at B flat melodic minor when you play over the 6th chord. Yeah? 6, B flat melodic minor, 2, 5, 1. I'm going to have to continue this video, which will be part 2, 1-6-2-5 turnarounds. Take it easy.